And the thing is, I do believe there was talk about these things. I believe if we study history, the Confederates were able to shoot pterodactyls, back in the Civil War, and they spread these things out. Anybody can look it up online.
Google it
They
yourself.
spread these things out, and this is a historical fact. So, they spread this thing out, and it's got a huge winglet. It was a pterodactyl they shot. So, of course, these things have been around. Now, they went extinct, obviously, slowly, but surely. And so...
What I'm saying is Jesus wrote a dinosaur to work. That's history. It's in the Bible. How to Train Your Dragon.
Historical facts.
And if you don't believe it, do your own research. Pull up Google. You'll find the picture, I promise.
Oh my God.
Thank you, John Gleason, Godless engineer, for gifting me this beautiful moment. Y'all remember when they tried to cancel Steven Spielberg for posing with an animatronic triceratops animal rights activist?
Back it up.
Hit it from the back.
Cloaca. Historical facts.
Eat my ass, BP. You're down here bailing on the rest of us because you don't want to process your grief and shame like a normal person by drinking and mistreating strangers.
No, Rick. It is you who must nibble my cloaca, or bird asshole.
Everyone knows what a cloaca is.
back in the Civil War, and they spread these things out. Anybody can look it up online. They spread these things out, and this is a historical fact. So, they spread this thing out, and it's got a huge winglet. It's a pterodactyl they shot. So, of course, these things have been around. Now, they went extinct, obviously, slowly, but surely. And so...
Paul Bunyan was sharing some Funyuns with his pet velociraptor.
Whoa.
Oh, you thought it was an ox? Roll back the clock. Let me knock the socks off. Historical facts.
I didn't cut out. You heard me. Are you a pervert or something? Okay.
What's up, heathens? How y'all doing? I'm the Godless Engineer, and I critically analyze apologist claims to give you the best arguments and information so that you can stand up and use your voice. Tonight, we're going to be taking a look at a self-described evangelist calling it in from his car and trying to prove to us that God definitely does exist. He has 4 different things that apparently prove God's existence, and we're all just stupid for, I guess, not accepting his evidence. Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out what his 4 pieces of evidence for God are, and if you want to fuck around and find out with me, then please stay tuned. That was not a smooth transition, but whatever. So, tonight we do have this Evangelist, but before we get there, we've got some Today I Learned, and we've got some comments. I was a little lazy today, and I didn't get a shitty-ass science, so Brocephus won't be joining us tonight. I know that a lot of you are disappointed. Don't worry. We'll have I'm planning something right now that's gonna have some Brocephus in it, so y'all will have that here in the future. But tonight, just to let you guys know, this month, for the month of June, we're gonna be doing donations to an LGBTQ plus charity. Last year, I believe we did the Trevor Project and maybe a law center. I remember a LGBTQ law center that we also supported last summer. So we're going to be donating to one of those 2 charities this month, and a portion of the revenue that we make here on the Godless Engineer channel, whether that be memberships or super chats or the super thanks now that are available on the videos, or the or just watching and sharing our videos here. So all of that helps us to donate to good and charitable causes, which again, this month will be an LGBTQ plus charity. So if you want to help out that particular group, please consider sending a super chat tonight, saying hi or whatever, adding your 2 cents into whatever dumb fuckery we're going to be looking at tonight. But after all that's out of the way, let's get on into the Today I Learned, which trusty ukulele here. All right, Today I Learned. Today I learned. Woo-hoo! All right. So first up on Today I Learned. I hope y'all are ready to learn shit. I am always ready to learn shit. I love learning shit, and I'm going to force you to learn with me. All right, so first up, we've got Today I Learned that United Airlines once forgot to escort a blind woman off the plane, despite assuring her they would. While waiting, she suddenly heard the plane's door seal shut, and then just complete silence, and I started calling out with no response, is what she said. She was later saved by the maintenance crew. Like, what the fuck? How do you promise a blind woman, we'll be sure to lead you out, and then you get everybody else off the plane, and then you seal the plane up after telling her that you would lead her out? Are you not supposed to, do a fucking check or something like that of the airplane? Come on, United Airlines. This is below the lowest bar for just basic human shit. I don't know. I've never been a flight attendant, so I don't know what their procedure is, but I kind of figure make sure that the cabin is clear would be one of those particular points. Okay? So I'm glad that the maintenance crew was able to get to her, and that somebody suffered some kind of consequences for leaving a blind woman on a plane. Next up on Today I Learned that Norse paganism is the fastest growing and largest non-Christian religion in Iceland. This really isn't all that big of a surprise. I've noticed a lot of people turning towards Norse paganism. I'm not judging anybody for being a pagan or anything like that. And for the most part, I don't find that pagans really want to, push their religion on anybody. I don't understand it. I get Norse paganism and all that. But what I don't understand is why people are convinced by Norse paganism or paganism in general. I don't get why people are convinced of magical concepts like that.
Just a little bit of money.
Yeah, just a little bit of money. There we go. Who's your buddy saying, quit mansplaining how to clear a plane. I realized that I was sort of mansplaining how to look around a fucking, area and make sure there's nobody there. I'm so sorry about that. Honey, I mansplained how to, clear a plane.
I'm on the high
because somebody left a blind woman on.
on.
We got Rudy Kisley and Quentin Van Booven and then Ned Silver. Yeah, it's.
Donating this much only makes me drink more.
Ned.
I'm on the highway to hell. Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
And then we got Vanta that'll be coming in next. Let's let Bro Cephas get all of his shit out here. Oh yeah, it's right there. Rudy Kisley says United crushes guitars and souls. I can see that. Quentin Van Booven says, sending in my weekly tithe, gotta save my seat in hell. You are on the highway to hell there, Quentin. And then does it sound really loud? Am I really loud? Oh, Caden says this super chat is gay as hell. No.
Here comes the gravy
Okay.
train.
Awesome. Ned Silver says, did you know that Rosa Parks died the same year Shark Boy and Lava Girl came out? I didn't know that. That's fucking sad. Hate that. Vanta Blue says, Thor has a hammer. Jesus has nails in his limbs. You guys do the fucking math, I guess.
Drink up, motherfucker. It's not getting any better.
Jester saying, thank you for teaching us how clean AA planes are. Yeah, you know, I really I don't think that they're probably all that clean. Anyways, thank you guys so much for doing all those super chats right there. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you guys. All right. Let's get to our last Today I Learned, which is an interesting one. I have to say, this one caught me off guard. I don't know if you guys know this, but in the 1700s, oysters were so overly abundant and popular in New York City that the discarded shells were repurposed into mortar paste to aid New York's building boom. Trinity Church is an example of a building built with oyster shells. They built an entire building with oyster shells. Well, the mortar, it was used for the mortar for the bricks and everything like that. But I mean, it's held together by oyster shell paste. That's kind of crazy. Really interesting. So I don't know, just one of those fun facts if you ever come across that in life. Hey, what church was it in New York that's built on oysters? Trinity Church. Everybody knows that. All right. Well, now we've got, you know what's next there, hon? There you go. That's fine. All right. We've got comments of the day. Comments of the day. Prepare to feast from yourself in the next week. I was too slow doing the shitty comments. It's way too slow with that. I gotta fucking practice because Alif, who did that for me, sent me like the general tune of it, and so I need to refigure that shit out. Anyways, all right, we've got some crazy ass comments tonight. So here's this one. Native Americans aren't native to the Americas, so. And of course, this person said, did you even think about this sentence before posting it? No, they didn't. Not at all. They didn't consider it. I don't know if they're meaning that like humans migrated from like Russia through the Americas, and so they're not native in like that sense. Native Americans are definitely real people, though. I don't know why this person would even try to be so hyper specific about it. They're still native. Like when we say Native Americans, they're the Americans, you know, the indigenous people that were here before the Europeans killed them all the fuck off. Well, mostly killed them off. But anyways, I have no idea what possessed this person to even say this. It sounds like they're trying to marginalize indigenous peoples, which is not cool. Next up is this crazy fuck. Oh yeah, wait. We got to do burder. Got to get the conspiracy like crazy ass wall behind us here. Anyways, this one says, I am a proud conservatarian. Is that a word? Is conservatarian a word? That feels like a made up like bullshit kind of thing. Anyways, fuck the Democrat Party and all the war party rhino Republicans. Fuck all your progressive bullshit. I don't do woke politics. I feel like I sincerely think that this person probably thinks that by saying I don't do woke politics, I feel like they're thinking that you're grinding up woke politics and you're going, oh, equality for all. And that's doing woke politics right there. That's going to be made into like a GIF or something, I'm sure. Piao Mao Noir.
Just a little bit of money.
Says playing Wii Sports. Who else wants to play? I haven't played Wii Sports in a while. You know, I remember when I had a Wii, I had that, like, you know, the Wii Fit board. We do? Okay, well, the last time I got on a Wii Fit board, it told me I was too fat to play with the Wii Fit board. So it was like, get off, fat ass! You can't play this! Lose some weight and come back, baby! Anyways, all right. Doing woke politics. Next guy. Next part. Come at me when you actually give a shit about people. Wait a second. You think that it's the Republicans that give a shit about people? That doesn't make a lot of fucking sense, does it? I mean, considering that the Republicans are the ones that consistently vote against, like, helping people out.
Hey, y'all know what? Anytime is a good time for a beer.
Thank you, Piao Mao Noir, saying here's $2 more for that error. Get We Fit. But the Republican Party does not want to help people. Also, how can you say, you know, fuck all your progressive bullshit, come at me when you actually care about people? Those are two contradictory ideas right there. You either say fuck all the progressive shit, you know, you either say that or you say you care about people. Like, you can't say both in the same fucking sentence. For fucking virtue signaling. Bad word, R word, whatever. I'm not saying it. I'm not going to give them that satisfaction. Women don't have penises. Men can't get pregnant. Men also don't have vaginas. Well, some of you act like it. Okay, so you're just an all-around bigot at this point, because definitely none of that's true, and toxic masculinity. Anyways, and kids shouldn't be learning about sex or sexual orientation, you sick fucks. You know, the only people that I seem to see grooming kids, or at least the ones that we consistently hear about, are conservative fuckers. Like, it's the conservative fucks out there that seem to be grooming kids. It's not like the progressives or the leftists or anything like that. Like, teaching kids about sex and sexual orientation is something that needs to happen. That's like basic shit that should be taught to kids. Well, yes, obviously, age appropriately taught to kids. This person probably thinks that, like, kindergarten teachers are teaching kids, you know, the crazy sex stuff, but that's just not happening. Obviously, age appropriate discussions on sex and sexual orientation. And then finally it says, oh, and January 6th was not people trying to overthrow the government. Get the fuck out of here with your nonsense. BLM and Antifa terrorized the country for months, and everyone was quiet as shit. And fuck your vaccines. Fight me. Okay there, Cletus. So January 6th was an effort to try to overthrow our current government. And that's been shown to be a real thing. Currently right now, the January 6th committee is laying out all of their evidence, and hopefully the Justice Department will do something about it. But It's just it's kind of crazy for them to say that it wasn't an attempt to overthrow the government. That's just ridiculous. And then BLM and Antifa terrorized the country for months. Oh, you mean all the protests to try to bring attention to the fact that people of color are shot, unarmed people of color are shot at a rate 3 times higher than that of their white counterparts. Nobody was quiet about it. In fact, we were quite loud. So, and then fuck your vaccines. Okay. Don't get the vaccine, but that does have consequences. Like you could get COVID, and then you could get like long COVID or even more devastating after effects. So, that's up to you, I guess. And then there's this one. School shootings happen because nobody is allowed to hit their kids anymore. Gun control? Let's start with kid control. I was afraid to miss my curfew because my mom would throw a lamp at my head. This is the generation of my mom is my best friend. Fuck that. I feared my mom. So wait a second. Your mom, when you missed your curfew, your mom would throw a lamp at your head? Like, what? Why do you think that this is like a normal way to raise a child? Raising a child in fear is not the way to go about it. I mean, it amazes me how people can blame everything else other than the real issue and then paint shit like this as being like normal. Like, where the fuck is this this is not normal. This is not good parenting. I'm not going to sit here and claim to be the best parent out there. I know that I'm not, but I don't throw lamps at my son whenever he, does anything. That's a low bar. That's a very low bar. I'm not abusive towards my son. I would say that probably is a low bar. I'm a good dad.
I'm just saying, not.
Let's see. All right, next up, we've got for y'all who don't believe in God, better start believing and praying, because if not, you're all screwed because you put something in your body that's actually illegal in every country in the world. Wait, what? What's illegal in every country in the world? Like, I'm wondering if they're talking about the vaccines, but also, like, I regularly hear from Christians that the law, like, our government laws aren't the same thing as like God's law. So, I mean, I don't understand what the connection between God and like the laws of the world. This seems so disconnected. It's a non sequitur is what it is. Like, I have no idea how you get from point A to point B here other than drawing like a cloud in the middle and writing magic, and that's how you get there. Or maybe delusion. Yeah, delusion is what you would write there. And then, of course, there's this crazy ass post. This person says, these are the baby shoes similar to the ones that would have been worn by a little unborn girl dismembered in the womb by her mother with the help of an abortionist. Why aren't Democrats offended by that? Bitch, it literally says Shutterstock on the image. Like, that's just, like, you're just making something up in order to get an emotional reaction out of people. Also, babies aren't being dismembered. Like, in the cases where those types of abortions happen, the baby is not going to survive, or there's some kind of medical issue either with the mom or with the baby to where well, or the maybe the baby may or the fetus may already not be alive. So there's a lot of different situations where that occurs, but it's definitely not that the baby's being born with little baby shoes. It's just simply not like that. This is an appeal to emotion to try to rattle somebody's cages. Like I don't know. It gets to the point where their arguments get pathetic, and I feel like if you have to resort to like an appeal to emotion, that's pathetic. All right, here's this dipshit post saying, "This is how Ritalin was administered when I was at school, and we had 0 ADHD problems and 0 kids suffering from gender identity problems. We all knew who and what we were." Now, I don't know exactly what you guys initially got from this photo, but what I initially got from this photo was that back in this person's day, apparently Ritalin was administered as a suppository that was forcefully crammed up the ass of the student whilst wearing pants. And I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck? What? That's not any way to administer Ritalin. But I understand that he's talking about like we abused kids and we forced them to, I guess, mind us or force them to act appropriately. I'm sorry. No matter how much you beat a child, you can't beat ADHD out of them, nor like any kind of gender dysphoria they might be feeling.
Doing some sort of
KC said that it looks like the teacher back there is about to perform some kind of magical spell on the Gryffindor boy's asshole. This definitely looks like a Harry Potter porn right there. What's this thing that fucking Voldemort said? It's the meme thing that's been going around. Let's see the Voldemort Avada Kedavra. Yeah, it looks like he's about to go Avada Kedavra on that poor boy's asshole. He's trying to get the mouse out. I think the Avada Kedavra thing is about is gonna kill it. So it's gonna kill the mouse inside, and I guess maybe he can pluck it out. Limited Light says my shoulder hurts right now following second booster because others are still not getting vaccinated. Thank you so much there, Limited Light. And yeah, people are still being stubborn about that. Wizard of Oz says molestus patronum. Perplexed Papa goes open sesame. Yeah, it's definitely a wand and a Gryffindor. But any more seriously now, seriously. This just doesn't look natural. I can't take it seriously. Like I can't take this opinion seriously with that image right there. Anyways, you can't beat ADHD or gender dysphoria out of children. Don't do it. That's called abuse. Okay. I really don't. This is one of those things that I just won't ever bend on. And plenty of people have criticized me in the past for. Hitting your kids is never going to be the best solution to any problem you might experience as a parent. And well, I mean, we've been watching right before this, we watched that Everything at Once Everywhere, or I can't remember what exactly how it's spelled out in the title, but it that one, the mother is like fighting or the daughter's trying to kill the mother or whatnot. If Xander was possessed by some kind of demon, I could see that being the one situation where I might throw some fisticuffs. But that seems to be like such a far out situation that it really doesn't need to be considered. I'm just saying, like, if you don't want to be a lazy parent and you actually want to be a good parent, don't hit your kids. That's just my own philosophy. And plenty of people have been like, I got hit when I was a kid and I'm fine. Okay. I feel like that, like I said, it's not the best solution. Like it's not ever going to be the best solution for anything. Anyways, all right, let's move on. I can't take that picture seriously anymore. Liberty Hangout Shitbrick herself has got some opinions, because that's that. What's her face, right, hon?
Yes.
Yeah. So Caitlin says, secularism, atheism is very simply just a return to paganism. Both view their gods or supreme gods as beings within the created universe, and the state as the moral authority of their religious ideals. Thus, Christianity is seen as a threat to the worship of their false gods. Okay. So I don't see Christianity as a threat as far as, like, I guess a theology goes. I see Christianity as a threat to our democracy. White Christian nationalism is on the rise, and they definitely want to replace our government with a theocracy. So in that way, it's seen as a threat, but not because I hold to any kind of gods or anything like that. Also, my guess is that pagans don't necessarily see Christianity as like this big, like, threat as far as like us being in the United States, like as far as like a religion goes.
Drinking all that beer, GE.
Like as far as their theology isn't like a threat to them on a theological basis. It's a real threat in the form of like Christian nationalism, like I said. So then we got Jester, Lord of Fools, that says you can, however, abuse your way out of your children and grandchildren's lives forever. That is very fucking true. Jester, thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, so Shitbricks here doesn't understand what atheism is or paganism, because secularism, atheism literally cannot be paganism. We got Mathwist 742 saying the people at Liberty Hangout have been monarchist theocrats for a few years now. Oh, definitely. Shitbricks has been a Christian nationalist for a while.
On people. Luckily, I have enough beer.
What? Oh. Yeah. Oh man. So I couldn't hear the notification, but I'm glad that it synced up well. All right. Finally, on the comments, we've got, now listen, okay? KC, I need you to verify this for me, okay? Are you as a woman, can you verify this for me? I can't find a source for this, okay? But I know there have been cases where a man has sex with one woman and then goes and has sex with another women before showering, and some of the first woman's eggs are still on his penis. They can't implant into the second woman. They can implant into the second woman who can carry the first woman's child. It's the same idea as medical egg donors. KC says that the education system has failed this person, and I couldn't agree more. You don't you don't get some of the woman's eggs on your dick?
Do you think a can of caviar?
I mean, that's what it sounds like. That
You dip it in caviar and it comes out with eggs?
Yeah.
No.
So you don't, I mean, this is why we need to have appropriate sex education in like high schools and shit, because then you don't have dumbass like opinions like this saying I can't find a source, but I know this is true. It's literally not true. I feel like I don't have to tell most people this, but if you're watching and you're like, oh yeah, that's totally legit, this is not true. Why? Yeah, Casey verified that this only happens because of abstinence only education. And, you know, I have to agree because, you know, abstinence only education.
Maybe you should quit drinking all that beer, GE.
Abstinence only sex education is only looking to keep kids ignorant about sex and sexual orientation and all that kind of stuff. It only wants them to think that, you know, you just don't have sex and that's the solution, when really that's not the only solution. Is it a solution? Yeah. If you don't have sex, then you're not going to get, you know, any kind of STDs and you're not going to get pregnant or anything like that. But this is not always like an option of the person. What's that, Pun? This guy's an expert. Got it. Who's your buddy says there's a real simple reason why they can't find any evidence to support their claim. Yeah. I feel like if you can't find any evidence to support this claim, maybe it's not really a fact or it's not really true. Philly 3000 said, "Can you make scrambled eggs with it?" No, don't do that. No. Also wash your junk. Definitely wash your junk for multiple reasons. But anyways, this is the perfect example. Like, if you need to pull out an example of why we need appropriate sex education for kids, like in high school and stuff, point to this so that they don't think that one, you're fucking a woman's ovaries, two, that apparently women are built like fish and they just have like bukus of like eggs just sort of floating around inside of their vagina, and two, or three, whatever, I can't fucking count. This C, yes, option C or point C here, just so that they don't have to do any, like, they don't have to like out themselves as an idiot. Like, anyways, Jane Pusacker says, I learned about sex from Glamour magazine and 17 magazine. My parents never gave us the talk when I did, as all my mom said was it hurt. See, I mean, honestly, I feel like parents need to have better conversations with their children about sex. But a lot of times kids don't get that at home. So, I mean, that's why I feel like appropriate sex education, either as part of our school curriculum or something like that, is kind of necessary, because I would hazard to bet that most parents aren't really equipped to talk about sex with their kids. Growing up in popular culture, it was always seen as like the dad's, like the one with the shotgun being all protective, like, don't have sex, I will kill you, kind of, sort of toxic masculinity, I guess, kind of thing there. But anyways, that's going to be it for the comments tonight. Like I said, Brocephus is taking another week off, but I'll definitely have to see if I can round up some shitty ass sciences so that we got Brocephus for the next few weeks. But we are going to be getting on into the video for tonight, so I hope that you heathens are ready for that. All right. So here's our guy. He's all set up in his car and everything like that. I want to say thank you to all of the members and super chatters tonight. You guys are awesome. If there's anybody in the comments afterwards that's doing those super thanks, thank you so much for doing the super thanks. I've noticed that a few people have done super thanks on a few of the videos in the past. I appreciate you guys, and all you heathens are every heathen, the people watching, members. And super chatters, super thankers, everybody like that is helping us donate this month. So thank you so much. But this guy is going to be interesting, I'll say. And hopefully I don't get dinged for the music that he's got on in the background. I don't think that his music dinged us, or dinged him rather. Let me check the monetization. Oh shit, we're limited to no ads already. All right, got that sent in. But we're getting to this guy now. If we happen to go off air or something like that for copyright reasons, just blame YouTube. Okay, just tweet at YouTube, whatever they are, YouTube creators or whatever on Twitter, and just harass them about it, because I know that they're going to care about my little YouTube channel.
Hello, our legacy family. Welcome once again to Witness in a Minute, where the goal is to provide you the tools and encouragement to carry out the Great Commission.
Now, years ago, I had this whole minute in atheism thing that I was doing. I tried it out for a little bit. It ended up not really working all that well, and so I'd stopped doing it. But people often commented how sometimes the videos were more than a minute long. Ranging 2 to 3 minutes, and they always had a problem with it. And so this is another example of that. It's 3 minutes long. An apologist in a minute, or evangelism in a minute, or whatever. But in any case, he's got some bouncing music, that's for sure. Mary Johnson says, "For the love of Satan, can people stop recording while driving?" Well, luckily, I believe this guy's parked maybe outside of an airport. I think that he's in Hawaii.
I don't know if y'all know this, but every time you donate, the Lord cries.
He sheds a tear every time. Quentin Van Boven says, "Gotta help make up for the limited to no ads." Oh, thank you so much there, Quentin. I appreciate it.
Often, when you're trying to bring up spiritual matters to a lost person, they will tell you that they don't believe that God exists.
I really don't like being characterized as a lost person. Like, I'm at my house, like, I know I've got a very good sense of myself. I'm not lost. Like, I get that they think that we're lost because, we don't believe in God or whatever. But I feel like characterizing me as a lost person is pushing a lot of shit on me that's just simply not there. I'm not fucking lost. Quit describing me as being lost. And yeah, these quote unquote lost people that he's considering are the ones that don't believe in his particular God.
So naturally, they ask if we can prove there is a God. Of course we can. It's easy.
Oh, I'm so glad. It's easy, right? So we should easily be able to prove that God exists. Which is kind of contrary to, all of these like philosophers and hundreds of years of attempting to prove that God exists through various inelegant and unfalsifiable methods. But sure, it's fucking easy to prove that God exists. Oh yeah.
We covered this in a past episode, but it's so important, I want to bring it up again. You might even want to take a few notes.
I'm going to have to find this past episode because this little 3-minute thing is just not fulfilling for me.
The basic proof for God has 4 points. 1, creation. 2, design. 3, art. And 4, order.
Perplexed Papa says, "Damn it, now I feel guilty."
Donating this much only makes me drink more.
Thank you so much there, Perplexed Papa. So, creation, design, art, and then order. I feel like the first three are just the same thing. Like, I'm not sure what he means by order. Order could factor, I mean, that could just be the same thing as like design, but like, I feel like creation, design, and order, they're all just the exact same thing. I'm lost.
Hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
Jester says, I'm lost because of ADHD, not our heavenly dingle shit. Let's see if he goes on to explain how all of those things prove it. Because creation doesn't prove God whatsoever. We have natural explanations for that. Design, the argument from design is one of the worst arguments you can use, because just because something looks designed doesn't mean that it is designed. So just because you think a flower looks designed doesn't necessarily mean that it has to have a designer. We know how the flora and fauna have changed over time. We have fossilized records of this change. So it doesn't really make sense to say that that designed things must have been designed by God if they were in fact created by nature or come about through nature or naturally. And then you got art, which I'm kind of like, what the fuck? How does art prove God? I don't know how art proves God. I'm guessing it factors into the whole a painting has a painter kind of thing, which is the design argument. So he's really just got the two arguments, the order and the design, the order might factor into design.
When you look around the universe, what do you see?
Well, I mean, when I look around at the universe, I just see a whole bunch of places that don't support life, and then we're the only one that does support life. It makes me think, if God is real and he definitely created this universe, why did he mostly make it dead and instead of full of life? Why is the earth, from all that we have perceived, to be the only place where life has arisen? God made an unimaginable amount of stuff in this universe, trillions upon trillions of planets, but he just picks one lone motherfucker to have like living organisms on. Oh no, I'm talking about from like a Christian perspective there, hun. Because it's very unlikely that we're the only living organisms in the universe.
Drink up, motherfucker. It's not getting any better.
He's not wrong. But no, from the Christian perspective, the entire universe exists and it's all centered around us. Like, we're God's creation. It is a weird thing to think, honey. You want to come over here and get mic'd?
No.
Okay. You seem to have a lot of good opinions. I know, that's why you should be mic'd.
No.
You see creation, design, art, and order everywhere you look.
See, all of that is just like some kind of weird argument from design or cosmological argument. That's all this is. It's just, it's one of those two. I'm thinking the order factors into the design, because I bet you this is all just one argument right here. Who's Your Buddy says, imagine creating a vast universe, putting life on one small blue dot, and then also barring butt stuff. That's real weak sauce, God.
2 Timothy, what the fuck ever? Shut the fuck up.
I've made trillions and trillions upon trillions of planets, but I have put life on this one planet. Also, butt stuff is icky, so don't do it. I don't like it none. I don't want to see it. And I can see everything, okay?
If every other thing has a creator, a designer, an artist, and an orderer behind it, why why wouldn't you think there's a creator, designer, artist, and order behind the universe?
Okay, well, good question, to ask, although I feel that it's kind of a leading question here, that you're sort of begging the question by the way that you phrased it, but I'll answer it nonetheless. So we wouldn't think that if there were natural explanations for all of those things, like a natural explanation for the universe, for why the universe developed the way that it did, and all this other stuff. If we have natural explanations for it, then we don't need supernatural, magical explanations for things. And considering that every single thing in our past that we once attributed to God has turned out to actually be some kind of natural process that we either didn't understand at the time or whatever, that means that most likely anything new that we experience is actually a natural phenomena that we just don't understand yet. So it seems like the most likely conclusion is that the universe is natural things happen in it, and there's no need for magic to exist. There's no evidence that magic exists. So there's no need for a creator to fucking, bewitch, twiggle the nose and, shit into existence, or in the Christian God's case, spread his asshole and fart it out. Like, I really don't see the need for God to create the universe when it could have happened and been inflated. The inflation of the universe could have happened naturally. So that's why we wouldn't think that a creator is necessary for any of those things.
So clearly, the proof that something has a creator is the something itself.
Let's just analyze this fucking sentence real quick. Proof that something has a creator is the something itself. I mean, if there's no natural explanation for how whatever object you're talking about came into existence, then that would be evidence that some intelligence had to arrange matter in that specific way. So, like, a good example of this is like a car or an airplane or anything like that. Like, we don't have natural explanations that show how airplanes come into existence. We have natural explanations for like how birds came up, why birds can fly, how they do fly. Like, we have natural explanations for that kind of shit. We don't need a magical explanation for that. So it's not simply the object itself, it's the object and its configuration, coupled with the fact that we don't have any natural explanations for how that object came into that particular configuration. We got Atheist Drew says, let's just all normalize child abuse and say the lack of abuse is the reason kids are being shot at school. Atheist Drew's a little behind,
what
I guess.
The fuck ever? Shut the fuck up.
Thank you, Atheist Drew. Yeah, definitely. That was kind of a bullshit comment that person had made, huh? But so I disagree with this on the pure fact that you're leaving out a lot of information here. Mainly that we have a natural explanation. So, like a mountain, for instance, we have natural explanations for how mountains came to be. Therefore, we don't need a magical creator for it. We don't need some wizard in the sky to twiggle his nose and, I guess, wiggle his dick and create a mountain. We don't need that.
The earth and everything in it is the proof that there's an intelligent creator. You can easily see the complex systems within the creations of earth to prove there's a creator.
Yeah, life on earth is complex, but just because something is complex does not necessarily mean that it was like fashioned by an intelligence. He's got all these animals on the screen. We have natural explanations for how all of those animals came into their current morphological states, but also their genetic. We have explanations for their genetics. We got explanations for the environment that we're currently living in. There are natural explanations for these things. So we don't need a magical creator to create these things. He would also need to explain why we have a fossil record that shows how, like, for instance, whales right there actually came from land quadrupeds. They were on land, and then they moved out into the water, and then they moved further out and further out until they became whales and dolphins and other animals like that. So, like, you would need to be able to explain why we have that clear linear progression in, like, whales, but not only whales, but like horses. They've also got a clear linear progression from one morphological state to another. We've got several different. Did you know that crustaceans have developed 5 different times on this planet? Like, I don't know why in the sea, like, the crustaceans are just the best adapted body plan or style of organism, but they seem to consistently evolve into crustaceans. So it just, he wants to say, oh, this is so complex, therefore God had to do it. But the problem is that he has no way to explain all of the other incidental information surrounding all that. So just drawing a bubble and placing God in there and saying God did it is not an acceptable answer. It is not a sufficient answer to explain the information that we have. Who's Your Buddy says this non-natural thing needs a non-natural explanation, so the natural thing must also need a non-natural explanation.
I've come to drink beer and shit on people. Luckily, I have enough beer.
Because they're the same thing. Gosh, how are you not getting it? I know, right? God, we're such dipshits here.
Evolutionists would have you believe that Hawaiian Airlines was started after someone dumped a bunch of plastic and steel in the ocean, and one day a fully functioning Boeing 67 just washed up on the beach.
No, nobody thinks this. Nobody's making this argument. As I said before, if you have an object that's in a certain configuration and there's no natural explanation for how that configuration could have come into being, then it must have had some kind of intelligence put it in that configuration. And this would be in line with other scientific kind of reasoning for things. It's not necessarily like only evolution. They always want to pin it on evolution, but this has little to do with evolution. In fact, his example there has nothing at all to do with evolution. So I don't know why he's characterizing normal fucking people that accept evolution as a fact. I don't know why he's painting them in this ridiculous light, other than he just doesn't understand what evolution actually is. And so to him, it's like throwing a whole bunch of shit into water and then waiting for a turtle to arise, apparently. Elizabeth Richardson said, I like this little self-satisfied chuckle, like checklemate. Okay. Yeah.
You are blessed by Christ, ma'am. Or sir. You are blessed.
Yeah, his little self-serving chuckle there is just ridiculous. Very condescending.
We all know that's ridiculous. So again, the proof that your car has a designer is the car. Just like our bodies are proof there's a designer. It has been said that the intricacies of an eye is so complex and perfectly designed that it's plainly evidence that there was a designer.
No, the eye is actually evidence of evolution, because we actually have an instance of every developmental stage of the eye in existence now on the earth, and we could actually track its development. There's this famous,
hey, ain't nobody gonna be fighting over this $5. It's all mine.
There's this famous demonstration by Richard Dawkins where he slowly changes like an eye into the eye that we have now. And, it slowly changed from like photosensitive cells, grouping into a collection. and then eventually moving into more of a concave sort of situation. And then the lens came over it. And so we have evidence of all of these versions of eyes in the animal kingdom now. We can track how it developed. And so it doesn't make a lot of sense to be like, oh, well, the eye needed to have a creator. But we could track its progression back in time and see exactly how it developed. That's the natural explanation. Again, just like with the car that I believe he mentioned in this section, the car is not the evidence of a creator. It's the car in its current state, and then the fact that we don't have a natural explanation to explain that. Those are the two very important things, and he's leaving one of them out. So just because the eye exists doesn't mean that God has to. If we didn't have a natural explanation for how the eye developed, then that could be an indication that God exists. But the fact that we do have a natural explanation for it means that it's not evidence of a magical creator.
Now, art.
Also, you remember how I was mentioning the incidental things that are sort of encompassing all of these things that he's talking about, and to which he just draws a cloud and he says God did it on there. You have to be able to explain, like, why do people have such shitty vision on occasion? Why are some people colorblind? If God, in his particular God, in his theology, God is an all-knowing, perfect creator, right? If he were an engineer, he'd be the best engineer on the planet. If that's the case, why did he design the human eye to be so fallible? Why did he design the human eye as if it were molded by the environment that we exist in? If he designed it, why is it that sometimes people go blind, or people are born blind, or people are born colorblind? Why do we have to use glasses on occasion because our eyes are fucked up? Like, why do these things happen? These are the kinds of questions that Christians like this, like a creationist, evangelist, I guess, what they'll say is that they'll just draw another bubble and say God did it for whatever reason. God did it. God did it. God did it. Well, that's the way that God wanted it. God did it. God did it. Over and over and over again, they just use God did it. This is a God of the gaps fallacy. You can't just plug God into here and expect that to be a satisfactory answer. A lot of creationists will sit there and tell you, well, there's a nature of the gaps, or a science of the gaps, or something like that. Where you just say, oh, well, we don't know now, but we'll know in the future, or something like that. But the problem is that has been the case throughout history, that, we don't understand this thing. And until we do understand it, it will remain mysterious to us. And so it's not really a gap thing. It's saying, I don't know. And that's not providing an explanation like God did it. That's just saying, we don't know yet. It's just that in the past, people have plugged in their own particular gods in order to explain these things.
An art gallery is proof there was an artist. And if you see a beautiful sunset overlooking miles of ocean, who can deny that God is the artist?
I can, because God's not the artist. Let's see. Jester sent in a super chat a little bit ago saying, I figured it out. The unnatural expansion of the head, despite not knowing anything, is God. It all makes sense now. But I can deny that sky right there has God as its creator, because what I see is just a natural effect of light being scattered across our atmosphere. The orange light, or the red and orange portions of the light spectrum are scattered more so than the other parts. And so we perceive it to look like this, right? Sometimes you get very beautiful like purples in there on occasion. You get different colors at different times of the day. And while it is amazing and it does look beautiful to us, that doesn't necessarily mean that God did it. If you, like I said before, if you can explain it naturally with natural explanations, then you don't need a magical creator to wave his wand at Wingardium Leviosa this shit. Like, you just don't need that.
The universe is also orderly. When you consider the constant force of gravity and the movement of the planets and stars, who can deny that the universe has order?
Well, I mean, order in what sense? Order in that cause precedes an effect, or an order in that the physical laws of nature seem to be consistent. Well, in our experience, the laws of physics remain consistent. It gets really wonky when you get close to black holes, and it gets really wonky when you get closer to the inflation of the universe. So, I mean, it's not orderly everywhere. It's not like every single place, the laws of physics stay intact. Like, we had to develop new forms of physics at various points throughout our history. And so I'm sure that there's shit that we don't know about right now. So it's hard for me to say, oh, there's order everywhere, unless you define what you mean by order. And do you mean by order that like gravity seems to work the exact same way everywhere we see it? Because like, as far as like black holes go, that kind of throws that kind of out of the throws this whole idea out entirely. Because these black holes have such a force of gravity that not even light can escape and stuff. And the laws of physics seem to break down near the horizon. Event horizon. Thank you. The event horizon of a black hole. So, I mean, it really depends on what you mean. And if you're talking about just flatly in a generalized statement, no, I disagree with you. It doesn't seem ordered.
If you see 20 Coke cups in a row, you know that someone put them there in order.
20 what?
Someone put them there. Coke cups in a row. It has order. If you see 20 Coke cups in a row, you know that someone put them there in order.
He said if you see 20 Coke cups. I'm guessing that he means like Coca-Cola cups, like cups to hold soda. Yeah, so okay. I mean, sure, more than likely, like, there's not going to be any kind of natural process that would put those soda cups in in order there. More than likely, like, it's very unlikely that any kind of natural process would do that. But I don't see how this relates to like knowing that God exists, because I mean, it seems like a non sequitur. Like, I don't get it.
God proves he exists by the things he has created. Romans 1:19 and 20 says, they know the truth about God because he has made it obvious to them. For ever since the world was created, people have seen the earth and the sky. Through everything God made, they can clearly see his invisible qualities.
I will never get why people don't have a problem with this verse. And I'll tell you why it grinds on me. Because the verse literally says that people can clearly see the invisible properties of God. How do you see invisible things? Now, like, I can detect the wind, Gesundheit. I can detect the wind. We can set up different things in order to detect the wind. You can feel the wind on your skin. But how do you, like, I cannot clearly see the wind. Like the actual, like I can see things that the wind blows, but that's an effect of the wind, right? That's not like a quality, like an invisible quality of the wind. Like, I just literally don't know why they don't see the problem with this verse. Also, it's a for the Bible tells me so kind of thing. Oh, the Bible tells you that God created everything, and so people should clearly be able to see that kind of shit, and it's all because the Bible says so? Okay.
He's eternal power and divine nature, so they have no excuse for not knowing God.
I mean, no, I have a good excuse for not knowing God, and that's because God is undetectable, and his shit's not clearly seen. And even if it were invisible, we should be able to detect it in some way. Just like with the wind, I can detect the wind even if I can't see it. We can detect the portions of the electromagnetic spectrum that are not in the visible spectrum. Like, we have ways of detecting that kind of shit. But we can't detect God? That's a good excuse. That's not, that's like not a non-excuse or something like that. That's a good excuse.
So come on, Legacy family, show them God is real as you keep showing up and showing off for God. And may God bless your next adventure as you witness in a minute.
So, I don't care how many Christians there are out there. I'm so glad you have your faith and all that other kind of stuff, I guess. As long as you don't try to push it on people or push it through the government or anything like that, I really don't care if you're religious or not. But the fact that you're religious is not going to prove to me that God exists. There have been plenty of religious people in the past with different gods than yours. So that's not going to convince me. You know what's going to convince me? Some kind of detectable proof of God. We should be able to detect a sumbitch like that, but guess what? We can't. It seems really weird to say, keep showing up and showing out. And especially, living in the United States, because it's like the Christians are like, yeah, let's show up and show out. We don't like the LGBTQ people. We don't like the government. We don't like democracy. We want God to rule over this place. We're going to show up and show out and show you the love of Christ by condemning you to hell. Is what I hear from a lot of Christians now. You even got Marjorie Taylor dipshit who's trying to portray Christian nationalism as, a good thing that's gonna somehow prevent, deadly shootings or prevent various other things in this country. And it's just not gonna do that. You're gonna force everybody to be Christian? Fuck off. Anyways, that's it for his video. I'm done with him. Anyways, thank you so much, Perplexed Papa, who says, God loves beer pong. I'm sure he does. Well, that's going to be it for our show tonight. I hope that you guys, enjoyed that short video. We're about to get into the Skeptic Mafia comments, but as like a final thought for this video, we got Kevin Beeler, who says 2,000 years of mass persuasion. Yeah.
Here comes the gravy train.
So as far as like a final thoughts for this video, he's brought up 4 different points that were really just one point, which is the argument from design. Basically, he thinks that the earth has a creator, and that explains everything that he needs to know. And, I just don't find that to be a very fulfilling answer, because it doesn't actually answer anything. It just draws a circle and places God in the middle of it and says God is the explanation for everything. And that doesn't really explain anything. And we've done that several times in our past. Like we once explained rain by God. We once explained lightning by God. We explained shit tons of things by just appealing to God. None of those things have ever panned out to actually be God. They've always been some natural process. So until religious people can connect God to nature, I don't see how they're really going to prove that God exists. And it's going to be a tough thing to prove that God is needed for nature to operate, because the whole point of nature is that it just operates like amorally, doesn't give a shit about living creatures or anything like that. Everything just sort of operates in the way that it does, and that's it. There's no personal thing to it or anything like that. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. Anyways, like I said, that's going to be it for tonight. I appreciate all of the super chats that came in from everybody. You guys are awesome. And everybody that's watching right now, you guys are helping us donate to the the charity this month, which is going to be an LGBTQ charity, most likely the Trevor Project. So if you guys want to help us out doing that, consider becoming a member. As part of your membership, if you're at the Mafioso level, you get to leave a comment on the video that we review on Friday nights. That's what we're about to go into. So if you want a chance to leave your own thoughts on tonight's video that I will discuss at the end of every live stream, then definitely become a member at the Mafioso level. If you just want access to those cool ass emojis you've been seeing people post in the chat, then you can become a shill, and that'll still help us out here. So anyways, we're going to get into the Skeptic Mafia comments, but if you're leaving out right now, I want you to know that I really appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to go down below, leave us a comment after the stream ends, and be sure to share it out with your friends and everything like that. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens. But don't go, because we got Skeptic Mafia comments. Y'all don't want to get out of here before you hear what the Skeptic Mafia has to say, do you? No, I didn't think that you did. I'm like, okay, thank you, hun. I'm very positive about people not wanting to miss out on the Skeptic Mafia. I mean, I know I don't like skipping out on the Skeptic Mafia stuff, so I can only assume other people don't want to either. Okay. All right. So first up, we got Quentin Van Booben. Quentin saying God is real. You can see him everywhere. I mean, just look at the trees. At least that is what I get from his first sentence. This is a Ken Ham level of strawman saying evolution teaches that if you have everything needed to make a non-living object, then it will arise naturally. I really didn't think people thought like that. They do. Our bodies are proof of a designer? Well, then he was kind of a crappy designer. You got nerves taking roots that make no sense. And the fact our eyes work a little bass-ackwards, seeing an upside-down image that the brain then has to correct, and then next uses the classic "we all know God exists and we're fools for not accepting" line. Jesus, when will they learn nothing in their fairy tale book will convince us any more than what Snow White will convince us of magic? GE, I'm a little beat after work today. Please insert a generic shilling here for me. Hey, if you guys don't know, this week we posted up a Skeptic Mafia podcast. And, I think that we may be able to get one out for next week too. So if you want to be able to catch the Skeptic Mafia podcast where we talk about, mostly politics, you can join up at the Mafioso level and you can get access to the Skeptic Mafia podcast. Next is Trickster. Trickster says, when I looked at the title, I was pretty sure that someone was going to use the argument, look at the trees. I was right about that, but he went ahead and pulled out the 4 worst arguments for God or gods. No one believes that something came out of nothing except the people like this guy who use it, even though it has been debunked many times, to try to strawman those that don't believe that everything was just spoken into existence. I can deny that God is the artist, creator, or until someone comes up with some evidence that can be tested and falsified, I can even deny that a God or gods exist. I guess I need to get my eyes checked as I cannot see the things that are invisible but can be clearly seen. That still confuses the fuck out of me there, trickster. So much wrong in 3 minutes. Like, subscribe, and share. Hit that join button and be part of the fun. Hey, GE, tell the nice people what they get. Well, all the emojis that you see right there, you can get if you become a member. You also get a monthly hangout, which I've got a couple IOUs in my back pocket. So we're definitely going to have a member hangout this month, probably a little bit closer to the end of the month. But we'll definitely do that. And yeah, we have a great time in the Skeptic Mafia. There's a Discord channel. Or server. There's a Discord. I was in the Discord this week. I was. Casey doesn't even know she has the app on her phone. So, Command Cyborg is next. Casey has to re-download Discord to get on there. Command Cyborg says, "Hello, world! What is this now? Oh, it's a car theist. At least he's not driving. That's a good start. Argument from Tornado in the junkyard. It seems stupid because it is. No one thinks that's the way evolution or anything works. No atheist has ever been convinced by Romans 10 to 12. Just so you know, they think it's stupid and obnoxious. Yeah, I do. Here's a present, and I do hope you enjoy your extra views from this community. Now, dear audience, don't go over there being dicks in the comments. That would be stupid and obnoxious. Smash all the buttons, ring-a-ding-dong. Remember not to index at 1.
2 Timothy, what the fuck ever? Shut the fuck up.
Jester Lord of Fools says, the universe does slightly unbalance when GE uses Discord, though. Everybody can feel it. It's like a disturbance in the force. Nothing? Nobody cares? Apparently nobody cares when KC uses doesn't use Discord, or does use Discord. Either way. Let's see. Apparently my glucose is just now getting to be unbearable. Well, no, it'll be insulin, but it can wait. It's not going up that bad. That's all, folks. Thank you. And Command Cyborg says good night. Transmission terminated. Thank you so much there, Command Cyborg. Then we got Zoomy. Zoomy's got the ASCII, so here's Zoomy. Oh gods, the cheesy music. I just can't. What's with the cheesy motivational speaker music? Ugh. Anyway, ASCII time. And it's it's a smiley face with a gun. Oh, Kirby with the gun. Kirby. Sorry, that's Kirby. Kirby says, put away the motivational music and nobody gets hurt. I really don't have a segue here, so I'm just going to shill. Go ahead and lick that like button, smash the subscribe, and remember to index at 1. Love you all. Exit stage right. Thank you so much there, Zoomy. Next up is Jester saying, they shall clearly see his invisible qualities. Couldn't have said it better. Thank you for summarizing how bad the argument is. Right? It's a good summary for how bad it is. In more important arguments, Stargate beats both Star Wars and Trek hands down. KC says bullshit. We'll see who throws the next jab. I wonder if Zoomy has any like Star Trek Gate or Star Wars clip art. our ASCII art. If you want your chance to force John to spout your opinion, make sure to join the Skeptic Mafia wherever you can. Also, where you can. Also, hear KC get frustrated on all sorts of topics. It's truly amazing, and you're missing out. Yeah, so I guess that's the big draw for the Skeptic Mafia podcast, is that you get to hear KC's opinion on things. She has a lot of them.
What?
You're going to deny that you have a lot of opinions?
What?
KC has a lot of opinions, and she voices them on the Skeptic Mafia podcast. They're good opinions. Like you said, you've got all the best opinions. Next up is Alex Baranowski, who says, at least he isn't driving in his car, but that dumb music in the background is too loud and distracting. You're going to have to quiet it down in order to adequately respond. He's very incoherent. Enough said. You know, I wish that I could tone it down, but in order to do that, I would need like some kind of space that's just the music. It might be at the beginning. I can't remember, but I'll definitely, whenever this gets back around to the whole director's cut editing time, I'll try to remember that. Okay. Zach Clark says, I was supposed to enjoy that. I think we have a very different definitions of enjoyable. I said, I hope everybody enjoys it in quotes so that you know that I was being a little sarcastic there. But you guys did. I mean, y'all are the ones that picked it. I laid it out. I said, Evangelist tries to prove God. I don't know what y'all expected. Like, I don't know who would be a good example of an evangelist. Like Frank Turek, that guy's shit. Who would be a better Ray Comfort? He's shit too. They're all the exact same. They're shit. Anyways, aloha heathens from Atheist Drew. Okay, that was 3 minutes I will never get back. Shake my head. So, if everything, including all the natural stuff, has a creator, then who was this God's creator, and why is that creator not in charge any longer? Where did it disappear to? Everything that Christians use as an example with this argument is always items created by man, except the eye. Always with the eye complexity equals design. Jeesh. Why do we keep hearing this argument? Surely they don't believe that this is a good argument. Why is he setting his congregation up for failure in their proselytizing? He has to know that this will never convince anyone with 2 brain cells to rub together. He does bring up the age-old human eye designed argument, but anyone who has had to wear glasses their entire lives, like me, or had other issues, knows that if a perfect being designed their eyes, then he did it with his eyes closed, or he was a total failure of a designer because these things are totally fucked. Not only can I only see with a modern man-made device to correct this all-knowing, all-powerful designer's fuck-up, had I lived in ancient times, I would be a burden to society because the perfect designer can't design worse shit. Back to not only am I legally blind without glasses, I also have tryptanopia. Tryptanopia? Yeah. Which is a type of color blindness that keeps me from telling colors apart from each other when next to each other, and the colors appear less bright overall compared to how others see them, while monochromacy, total color blindness, is rare. Tryptanopia is close enough. Thanks to my friends that in the past who have had the courage to say, who aren't wearing that are you? Who aren't wearing that are you? And now these days I have a very boring wardrobe where I purchase mostly the same colors that match or complement each other because, you know, perfectly designed eye and all. Yeah, so with the whole eye thing, just so that people are aware of how they would explain it, I've heard creationists explain it in a multitude of ways. I think that one of the most egregious ways that they explain the imperfectness of God-designed things is that it's our fault. It's man's fault because Eve ate from the fruit and Adam ate from Eve's fruit. And so that is apparently why like eyes get fucked up and kids get cancer. And I feel like that's not a satisfactory answer at all. But I'm just saying that that's one of the ways that they explain it. Another way that they explain it is just, I don't know, God works in mysterious ways. That's another way that they explain it. Thanks GE for yet another laughable video at the end of a rough week, giving me a bit of levity. Oh, I'm glad that I could do that for you there, Atheist Drew. Then we got Jonathan Handichak, who says, so how about we just take the Bible and we'll throw it out the door if you can find any proof that proves that God, that is proof of God. I would love to see it. The funny thing is I keep hearing, look at the trees, look at this, look at that, you know, what I see. Science and stupidity, mostly Bible people, but stupidity. Now, if you really want to learn about the well-defined understanding of science and its explanations of natural selection, which didn't help this person one fucking bit, if you want to help with the selection pressure, please subscribe. Donate your time by watching one or more of GE's videos, hitting that like button, and turn around and make sure you share it with people that you know. Won't like it? With people that do like it too. But saying that, I want to say, hopefully you didn't take any of this dumbass to heart. Hopefully John will do a great job on dismantling this moron and his ideas. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, fat ass out. I feel like that's a clan tag. Fat ass out. I'm in the fat ass clan too, so. Ira Sark says, you probably wouldn't want to try to bake a cake without even a little bit of understanding of the recipe and or what should go in it. You probably wouldn't want to build a house without knowing what materials it takes and how they can safely be assembled. These things seem self-evident. So please, someone explain how this guy hopes to teach his congregation to proselytize when he doesn't explain why or how his 4 ideas might be used to convert a skeptic or atheist. Oh, Prime? Yeah. Well, yeah, Rent. I believe it's Rent because it's that Prime Cinema thing.
Come on, you paid like $20?
Well, yeah.
My God, somebody should fucking pay people to watch it. That goddamn awful.
Honey, there were 2 ninjas with dildos in their ass fighting a woman that magically got kung fu powers. How do you not love that movie?
It's the worst movie we've ever watched. Ever. Including the shit we watched on that stupid podcast we used to do. The terrible movie thing.
The initial reaction theater?
Yes, it's worse than everything we have ever
combined. No, it is not. No, the movie is great.
No, it isn't.
I don't know what in the fuck you're talking about. The movie is great. It is not awful. It doesn't really spoil anything to talk about the ninjas fighting with dildos in their ass. There's this whole part where the one guy's desperately trying to shove this award that's very obviously an anal dildo up his ass. Oh, butt plug. Well, yeah, they are, but the one ninja actually had like it looked like a dildo at his ass.
But the one you were describing.
No, it was a butt plug, right? Sorry. Thanks for correcting me, honey. It wasn't a baby Jesus butt plug, no. Anyways, let's continue. Not a single idea he listed was in any way given an example. Oh, I'm over here. Hold on. given an explanation as to why they were arguments for God. Well, I think that the whole point was that, oh, I don't know how to explain these things, therefore God. Basically, God of the caps, an argument from ignorance type thing. He also gave no examples of the responses to potential converts might give in opposition or how to counter them. You know, I feel like that's something that I do that I notice a lot of like Christian apologists don't do, is try to inform you on like how people might respond. Cause you know, like saying that, you know, they would respond with, you know, saying that, you know, Eve ate an apple and therefore we have kids with cancer kind of thing. Like, you know, explaining all that out, I feel like that kind of separates me from the apologists a little bit, because obviously I'm not trying to like bullshit you guys on anything. Anyways, I think this might be because he has absolutely no sense of how non-Christians think or what might convince them. He himself has just accepted these ideas because that's how he was taught, and he was never encouraged to consider what weak reasons they are for devoting a lifetime looking forward to an unproven afterlife instead of living life now. I don't think he realizes that there are individuals and congregants may run across to have considered his arguments already, found them lacking, and then dismissed them. He has put his followers into the position where they themselves may be reasoned out of their belief because they don't really know why they believe what they believe or how to defend it. Oh well, after all, the better for us. Wait. Oh well, all the better for us. I don't know where I got after from. Enough about that. Here are my reasons for becoming a mafioso and why you can join member-only live streams, get a bunch of cool insider emojis, get access to the community on the Discord server, and have your video response shell posts read out aloud during the weekly live streams. The most important reason is that not only do you get this for a low monthly donation, you get to have part of your donation go to different worthy cause every month. Okay, unsolicited advertisement complete. Night, y'all. Thank you so much there, Iris Sark. I appreciate you. Then we got Jason Kolasik, who says, does want to convert me or fish me with that brutal hook. Okay. Jonathan Nickel. Okay, Jonathan. What do we got? I'll see if I can offer a better response this week now that I am home and can devote more time to the video and my reply. His so-called proofs: creation, design, art, and order. His proof for creation? A circular argument, asserting that creation proves a creator. He does nothing to demonstrate this aside from asserting that our planet was created. His evolutionist argument is the worst ever, even more ridiculous than that tornado in a junkyard that they keep trotting out. One, I don't know why that one is in there, Jonathan. What have aircraft parts got to do with evolution? And two, how in any way does this relate to biological systems? Oh, okay, I see why it's numbered now. Art is proof of an artist, a human artist. A sunset is not art. A picture of a sunset is. There's a difference, but this guy doesn't seem to understand. Who can deny that order is evidence for God? He asks. I can, for a start. He mentions gravity, along with the movements of planets and stars, but fails to see the connection. He does not understand that given time, natural forces such as gravity can produce order out of chaos. He doesn't seem to understand anything from what I saw other than how to record videos inside a car. I agree with that. Drew's book review says, oh, I can prove God exists. That's awesome. But honestly, I don't care if God exists. Maybe I would if it were actually proven, but as of now, it makes no difference to me. Anyway, heathens, until next time, keep on reading. Thank you there, Drew. And then finally, we got Who's Your Buddy? Saying he's a failed artist, is a bad designer, and even a worse creator. But I guess as long as he lives, everything alone, the order is fine. When he messes with things, we get giant physics-defying floods that murders millions of innocent fetuses. That's true. All right, heathens. We're getting out of here pretty early tonight. we're done like on time and shit. Before on time, so that we can go back and watch our ninjas with anal butt plugs. Butt plugs. That's the word I was looking for. Butt plugs. Butt plug ninjas. We're gonna go watch some butt plug ninjas. We still got an hour of the movie too. Casey is not thrilled by this prospect over there. No. Anyways, so coming up next week, our Thursday video, I think, is actually gonna feature a new sponsor for the channel. So I'm gonna be working on both the video and the sponsor Brocephus is gonna do the sponsor, the little sponsor bit, and I will, put it in there. And but we got that coming up next week. For Monday's video, we've got I already forgot. Wild Bill, Racist for America. I've got a video about him coming out on Monday, and then on Tuesday we've got Bible podcast, and then we'll probably have a clip ready on Wednesday, and then Thursday is going to be a guy that's trying to prove that evolution is a lie. A little different than what we've been doing lately, but sometimes that's necessary. This guy doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground is the best way that I can describe it. But anyways, well, we've got all that coming next week, so I can't wait for all of that. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. Jester says installment payment for the Uvalde stream. Oh, thank you so much for that, Jester. Appreciate you sending that in. Appreciate all of the super chatters tonight. You guys are awesome. We'll be donating a portion of the proceeds to the Trevor Project this month. So know that your super chats and everything like that are going to be going to help a great cause. Thank you so much. I guess I'm going to go ahead and get out of here so that I can start getting Xander ready for bed and I can hear his moans and groans. Maybe I'll get a lamp and I'll throw it at his head. Oh, Casey says, no, I can't do that. The lawyers say child abuse never works to discipline children. Yeah, unless you're trying to make your child scared of you. If you're actually wanting to prepare them for life and not emotionally and psychologically scar them, yeah. Don't abuse them. Anyways, I'll see everyone later. Y'all have a great weekend. I think tomorrow morning I might stream some Assassin's Creed, so y'all be looking out for that. And I guess I will just see you heathens next week when we talk about a nation without God. See you heathens later. Don't forget to stand up and use your voice. Bye, heathens.